When I first saw the trailer on one of Sony's State of Play livestreams, my first thought was that it reminds me of one of my favorite games of all time, NieR Automata. But after downloading and playing through the demo we got a few weeks ago, I have to admit that this assumption was quite wrong. And not because the gameplay is bad in any way, even though the gameplay trailer made me worry a little bit because it looked a little clunky to me, but more because it's a mix of NieR Automata and Sekiro, with a heavy focus on timing your blocks and dodges. But you don't have to worry that Stellar Blade is just another Souls-like either. And yes, you have your bonfire-like checkpoints that respawn enemies, let you access a shop and your upgrade tree, and if you let your guard down, even the basic enemies can give you a hard time. However, none of the bosses we were able to try so far are even close to being as hard as a Soulsborne boss in my opinion. And even if you feel like this game is too much of a challenge for you, you will have the option to switch to an easy mode. But coming back to my opinion, I really loved how satisfying and responsive everything feels in this game. Especially when you get a bit of a flow with a few perfect blocks in a row, and I'm really looking forward to trying the abilities teased in the skill trees. But outside of the combat, I also had some problems where the controls felt really clunky, like in a section where you have to move some wooden platforms that are floating around in a small area full of water, where the camera and overall controls felt imprecise compared to the rest of the game to this point. And I hope that sections like this are not going to be found throughout the final game. Anyway, coming back to the positives. The incredible combat is also supported by an amazing soundtrack and sound design, which, at least partly, is made by the same person that worked on the soundtrack for NieR Automata, which, if you played the game and know its music, is definitely a seal of quality. And it doesn't stop there. The visuals in this game are stunning so far, and I expect some screenshot-worthy sceneries throughout the campaign. And another thing that stood out to me was that this game does not hold back on the violence in its cutscenes, which is not an especially good or bad thing in my opinion, but managed to catch me off guard at least once. So to sum everything up, after playing the demo I think the first AAA game developed by Korean studio Shift Up, that so far is mostly known for developing mobile games, has the potential to become one of the best action-adventure/RPG games we had in recent years. But as it is only a demo so far, we will have to wait and see if the enemy variety and bosses will keep the qualities throughout the game. And I'm also really curious about how the story will explain and connect all of the things the game threw in your face in the around 60 minutes of gameplay the demo offered. If you watched until now, thank you for that. Maybe consider liking and subscribing if you don't want to miss any of my future videos. And I hope to see you next time.